Hello everyone and welcome to Lighting 101 with your instructor Denise Remping. I am Denise Remping and I'm here to give you a basic introduction to lighting fundamentals and theory. When it comes to theatrical lighting, most people don't give it a lot of thought, unless it's bad. They will take notice if, for example, they can't see what is happening on stage. However, good lighting can not only allow your audience to see your actors clearly, it can do a lot to enhance a show and add to their overall experience. Good lighting can elicit emotion, it can enhance themes, it can indicate time of day or location. It can also, like many other theatrical elements, give the illusion of things that aren't really there. It can be an integral part of a production that carries just as much weight as the scenery or the costumes. So, in this series of videos, I am going to hopefully teach you a bit about how lighting works, the elements of lighting you will need to know to create a design, and the artistic elements of stage lighting you can use to support a production. If I am successful, not only will you be able to create a basic lighting design, but you will never look at light the same way again. I'm not kidding. I am constantly evaluating light wherever I go and asking myself, could I reproduce that on stage? Or better yet, how can I reproduce that on stage? Let's begin. This first video is all about getting to know your lighting instruments. Each instrument has a specific task it is able to accomplish, and different lighting needs are going to require different lights. Just like a painter uses different styles of brushes to accomplish different looks, a lighting designer uses different lighting instruments to create images on stage. In this video, we are going to discuss 5 types of lights: the ERS, the Fresnel, the Parcan, the cyc light, and the follow spot. The ERS, which stands for Ellipsoidal Reflector Spotlight, is one of the old workhorses of the theater. You will find that many different lighting designers, tech directors, and electricians will have many different names for many different lights. For a newcomer, it can often get confusing. ERSs can be referred to as ellipsoidals, which is the name I prefer, but can also be referred to by their beam angle or the measurements within the instrument itself. You'll sometimes hear them called names like the 20 degree or 19 degree or 30 degree. The degree refers to the angle of the beam. The higher the angle, the wider the beam, but the shorter the throw or the distance the light is able to travel before dimming. You'll also hear them referred to names like 6x9, 6x12, or 6x16. These numbers refer to lens diameter and focal length, which is really diving into the inner workings of the lighting instrument. Understanding the mechanics of your lighting instruments can help guide your experience, but for the purposes of these videos, we're not going to get into them. However, if you are curious to learn more about how a lighting instrument works, I have posted a few links in the description below that you can explore. Ellipsoidals are used quite often in theaters for many reasons. For starters, they have long throws, which means they are very bright at a very long distance. When you go to the theater, they are often the lights you see hanging above your head in the catwalks or on the pipes above the audience. They are used for your frontal light, which we'll get into more in later videos, but they are really good at providing a full stage coverage and making your actors and scenery visible. Ellipsoidals have a very hard edge to them and can be great for providing isolating spotlights for actors to stand in or for drawing focus to a specific location on the stage. The barrel of the ellipsoidal can be adjusted to soften the edges of your beam, but in comparison to lights that provide washes or large area coverage, more on those later, they're still very focused and fairly sharp. Ellipsoidals also have shutters for changing the shape of your light, which can be useful in isolating locations on stage or cutting out objects you don't wish to draw focus on. Ellipsoidals also come with color frame holders, so you can provide color to your light, and a slot for holding gobos, which creates images within your light. We will discuss the uses of those in a later video. Fresnels get their name from their lens. This is a Fresnel lens, designed by French physicist Augustin-Jean Fresnel. And forgive me, I probably mispronounced that. Originally designed for lighthouses, its unusual design allows for a large aperture, or the hole through which your light travels, and a short focal length, which is the distance between the lens and the lamp. This allows the lighting instrument to be more compact and lightweight. Again, to learn more about the Fresnel lens, you can check out the links in the description below. Fresnels for many years have been considered another one of the great workhorses of theatrical lighting. Unlike ellipsoidals, the beam of the Fresnel is softer and diffused. Fresnels are used for large area coverage, or washes. You will often see Fresnels located on the electrics, which are the battens above the stage specifically designed for housing and providing electricity for lighting instruments. Like ellipsoidals, Fresnels also come with color frame holders for adding color to your wash. The par can is another form of wash which is becoming more and more popular, mostly due to their portability and affordability. In other words, they are easier to move around, more durable, and typically cost a lot less. A lot of your newer LED lights are PARs. PAR stands for Parabolic Aluminized Reflector, which is basically just like the headlights in your car. To learn more about them, check out the links in the description below. You will hear the par can be referred to as a par, a can, or a par can. These are again used for full washes with softer edges, but tend to have a more intense, hotter center of light than the Fresnel. They were more widely used for dance and music concerts in the past, but have gained more and more recognition and use in theater in recent years. Cyc lights are used to light up the cyc. The cyclorama, or cyc, is a large white curtain typically located at the back of the stage, which, when lit up, can provide a massive illuminated background for your scenery. The cyc is seamless and stretched flat to create a smooth surface and the sense of infinity. The cyc can be lit up by strip lights, but the cyc light provides a smoother wash and uses an eccentric reflector which can create a large wash from only a few feet away. And the final light we're going to discuss in this video is the follow spot. The follow spot is a high intensity means brightness, hard beamed light used to follow moving objects on stage, i.e. your actors. Follow spots come with many different features which we will discuss in a later video, but their main use is to highlight actors in a scene. For example, you will often see follow spots used in musicals to draw focus to the actor who is singing. One last bit of information I'd like to cover in this video is the difference between a halogen lamp and an LED. Many traditional lighting instruments use halogen lamps, which are basically just like the light bulbs you use in your household. Well, before you replace them with those energy-efficient fluorescent bulbs. However, the lamps, we call them lamps, not bulbs, used in theatrical lighting are much, much brighter and require a lot more electricity, which means some of the biggest downsides to halogens are A, they soak up a lot of power, B, they burn out faster, and C, they get really, really hot and very, very quickly. When working with halogen instruments, you will always want to wear work gloves. In contrast, the LED light does not use as much electricity and it lasts longer, many, many years longer. And the biggest perk? It doesn't get hot. LEDs are not without their downsides. Many lighting designers will lament about the harshness of the color, as halogens are a lot warmer in color and have a softer quality to them. But there are also issues such as fade ups and fade downs. A halogen will fade up and down very smoothly. LEDs have limits and will pop on and off sharply when they reach a specific intensity, making smooth, gradual transitions difficult. But we will discuss that more in a later video. And that is the very basic, very quick overview of your basic lighting instruments. There are many other types of lights to explore and discover, such as strip lights, ERFs, which are ellipsoidal reflector floodlights, projectors, and moving lights. If you are curious about what other lighting instruments are out there, I suggest exploring the internet and learning more. Just as with the 5 lights we discussed in this video, each has its own unique purpose and use, and it can be fun to discover what other sort of looks you can accomplish with them.